Atwoli has moved to court seeking to have Labour Cabinet Secretary compelled to appoint and gazette him in the NSSF board. Atwoli claims that CS Ministry of Labour and Social Protection has failed to reappoint and gazette him to NSSF board as a trustee. He further advised that this is not the first time the Cabinet Secretary has failed, refused or neglected to appoint and gazette him. Over to the coastal city of Mombasa, where the 79th Annual Skull Congress kicked off in Mombasa County, with Kenya playing host for the first time. The four-day Congress has drawn in hundreds of delegates from skull clubs across the globe and will be centered around tourism investment opportunities in not just Mombasa, but Kenya as a whole. Thandiwe Yago reports from Mombasa.
In a bid to latch onto the gains being realized so far in the country's tourism sector, stakeholders converged in Mombasa to take stock of opportunities in the tourism industry. Speaking at the event, Tourism Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala lauded security efforts achieved so far, as this has made Kenya a safe destination.
This is an endorsement to show that Mombasa and the beach destination is safe, Kenya is safe for visitors, and as we have seen, the coastal destination has been voted the best beach destination in Africa. Masai Mara was voted the best national park in Africa, and our national carrier, Kenya Airways, was voted the best airline in Africa by the World Travel Awards, which was held 10 days ago in Durban, South Africa. So yes, we have the product, we have the people, and we have the commitment of the government of Kenya to make sure our visitors have the best experience, but also they are safe.
Delegates present at the forum urged for better marketing of destinations, as this would see African countries attract new markets. So far, Kenya's tourism industry accounts for 18.9% of jobs in the country, proving that the industry is pushing the economy forward. The 9% increase in tourism last year, as opposed to the 4% global average of 4%, will necessitate the construction of hotels and employment of people in the service industry.
Kenya depicts the whole of Africa. Here in Mombasa, you will find the sea, you will find the beach, you will find forests, you will find mountains, the Rift Valley, the parks. You also find deserts in Kenya. And of course, the hospitality of the country, the warmness brings Africa to you all.
Sustainable tourism was among one of the key issues discussed at the Congress. This is something that is going to become inevitable for hotels and the tourism industry in general. Thandiwe Yago reporting from Mombasa.
Thank you, Thandiwe Yago, for that report. Now, the government's affordable housing plan might have just gotten a huge boost after a dozen pension firms came together aiming to raise assets investments. Now, the local pension firms have partnered with the World Bank and other international firms in a consortium that will see numerous investments in infrastructure and housing as a way of playing their role in Kenya's economic growth.
And Kenya has got a big pension fund. It's one of the unique countries in Africa, with South Africa as well, that have pension fund with a lot of assets. So this pension fund can actually invest in the needs of the country. But to do that, you need specific structure and framework. So we think Kenya is the right ingredient. And in addition, you have projects that are coming to market. We've been working 5 years on PPP. And what is important is that this project needs to be structured in a predictable manner. They need to be bankable. We think Kenya is ready, but there's one big issue right now. Government is borrowing like crazy, as you know. I'm a pension fund, I can get 13, 40%, 14% return by doing nothing, just investing in government bonds. So we think there's a big issue. This is the government needs to manage its debt very thoroughly, strengthen the management of its debt to bring the cost of this debt down.
Now, Kenya's future in the aviation industry looks brighter this year with the recent positive operational and regulatory developments. Over the years, the industry has faced challenges and been striving, to take measures to improve the performance of the air transport. Kenya scored 78% on the safety audit conducted in July 2018 by the International Civil Aviation Organization. Now, the performance, which is above average, rates Kenya third in Africa. It has earned Kenya direct flights to the US and access to new open market, the direct flights to begin operating from October 28th. The regulators will be hosting an International Civil Aviation Organization air service negotiation, well known as ICANN event, in December to provide opportunities for local service providers in the aviation sector to showcase their products.
Honored to be chosen to be the 11th city or country to host the ICANN event. 156 partner states have already confirmed their participation in this country. And when you're looking at delegates between 2 and 4 delegates per partner state, you're already at around 600 expected visitors into Kenya. And when you bring in their support staff and others, including their families, people also come with their families, we're expecting about 800 delegates and guests to come to Kenya in December. Aviation is the main or the chief enabler of economic development of any nation in the world today.
Aviation Administration of America, really for us to be recognized is because of you. It's because also KCA management and the board is working. And therefore you are sponsoring an organization that is really performing. There is also the issue of the problems that we may have had, a few issues that came up during the audit. I'm sure we shall be able to sort them out for us to go possibly to over 80 or 90% in the next audit that we'll expect to have maybe in the next 5 years. And therefore,